Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League, and let's try to get some wins here. We're going to be using the Shadow Machamp with the Dunsparce and the Shadow Marowak. They're going to switch out here into the Typhlosion. We are going to overfarm here, allow them to get to the move first. We're going to show this first one here, ends up being the Blast Burn, so that was a great show by us. We are going to throw this Drill Run here on good timing. It's going to get the shield or it's going to get the KO. Our opponent here ends up building up to another potential Blast Burn, but we're going to fire off another Drill Run here. Then they are going to throw one more move here, and we're going to just shield and look for a farm job, but they don't allow us to go to that. Our opponent ends up having the Fair Thorn in the back. Fair Thorn here is going to have a problem versus our Marowak. We are going to look for a farm down. We know they still have that Umbreon, right? So as soon as they bring the Umbreon, we're going to be able to bring this Machamp. This Machamp here is going to be able to get to this cross chop pretty quickly, dealing super effective damage right there. Let's see if they're running Psychic. There is a chance this Umbreon can run Psychic, but nope, it looks like they do not have it. And we're going to be able to get to another cross chop here for the KO. This is going to take out this Umbreon, and we're going to be able to farm down with the Shadow Machamp. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Mainly because of the Shadow Machamp. The Shadow Machamp putting a ton of work towards their team. Alright, here we go. We got the Shadow Machamp versus the Clock. It's a terrible matchup. We're going to switch out here into the Dunsparce. They matched with their own Dunsparce. Interesting. This is going to be probably a situation where we have to try to flip the switch. Let's see what we do here, though. We're going to allow the first drill run to go through. We're going to throw our own drill run here. Gets them into the red. Our opponent here has to consider shielding or letting this next one go. This drill run here will definitely take out this Dunsparce. They decide to shield, so they are looking to get the farm down. And since we're so low, we're going to allow it to go through. We're going to throw this Machamp here into action, get a little bit of energy there, and then we're going to switch out into the Dunsparce. They end up having the for Alligator in the back, so that is terrible news for us, as this for Alligator here is dealing super effective fast move damage, and it's going to be able to do super effective charge moves. We're going to go for the Shadow Bone here. It does grab their last shield, but we're hoping they allow it to go through. We're going to allow this Machamp to try to win the game for us. We're going to try to get a ton of energy with this Shadow Machamp. We do shield once here to get the... Okay, looks like they switch out into the Clockstar. We're going to have to throw the Stone Edge here. It's going to be non-effective. All our moves ends up being resisted. So, unfortunately, we had to try to win that switch. We thought that we could just gain a ton of energy with our backline and try to win that way. But, unfortunately, every street was just countered. All right, here we go. We got the Machamp versus the Lock-6 here. The low kicks is going to be interesting to deal with. They actually switch out into the Weezing, though. Weezing here is going to be able to shield the first one here. We weren't sure to use the Dunsparce or this Marowak. Let's see what they end up using. Overheat does get used, so we are able to tank that, but it does huge amount of damage. The Brutal Swing does get fired off immediately afterwards, so we had to invest a shield. We're going to go for this Drill Run. It does end up getting the second shield. They decided to go into their double, though, so double here is going to be able to fire off some body slams, but we are doing super effective fast move and charge moves. Looks like they are going to get we are able to get the farm down, which is good news for us. And then our opponent here tries to get us to use some energy, but we are going to force them to use some energy because we are very close to a Stone Edge. We're going to go into our Dunsparce here. Oh, looks like they are going to be able to get to another move. We're going to shield here because we need to at least get this Weezing low enough. So we're going to fire off this Drill Run, take him out, and then we now have the low kicks versus our Marowak. They end up just stalling out a little bit, but we have the advantage because our Marowak is running the Fire Spin fast move, and it was dealing some super effective fast moves. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Kind of switching out of the Machamp situation in the lead and aligning everything in the back. All right, here we go. We got the Shadow Machamp versus this Superior. We are going to be able to get to this cross chop here to apply the pressure. It looks like they end up shielding the first one. Aerial Ace does get used here, so we know that we are going to have to face an Aerial Ace superior. They try to catch the next move right there, but we are going to be able to switch out on timing. Our opponent here does build up to only a Thunder Punch, so we are able to survive that. You can see right here, we are going to be able to throw a Shadow Bone. They actually end up shielding it, so now they have no shields, and we're going to be able to get to another Shadow Bone right here. Marowak Shadow Bone does take out the Hypno. Now we have to deal with this superior with a little bit of energy advantage. Luckily, we are able to win the CP tie here, so this Machamp is going to get this cross shot to go through. Our opponent does end up throwing a move, most likely going to be the Aerial Ace. No, ends up being the Leaf Tornado, so they decide to switch out, and it looks like they have the Azumarill versus our Dunsparce. We're going to have to tank the first move here. Ends up only being the player rough, so we are able to survive that. You can see right here, we have a ton of energy to use. This drill run right here is going to get them into the low green. And then we're going to throw this next drill run here on timing. Looks like they are going to be able to get to another play rough. It does take us out though, so that's interesting. We're going to throw this cross chop here right before they get to another move. Hopefully this is enough to take it out. Yes, it is. So we are going to be able to time that perfectly. Go for another cross chop here and take out the superior. So GG's to our opponents. Able to win that game with a good energy management with our Machamp, taking out the Azumarill, taking out the superior. Luckily, because of the low health on both of them. Okay, next here we got the Shadow Machamp versus the Sandslash. Good lead here. They're going to switch out into their Marowak. So this Marowak here is going to be kind of a problem because we don't really have a good counter to this thing. We are going to stay in for now because we know that we could potentially line up the Marowak with their Sandslash later. So we're just going to stay in, fire off these moves. Ends up being the cross chop there to try to whittle it down. This Marowak here looking like a problem for our team. It is going to be able to get to these bum clubs. We are able to survive that one, thankfully, and now we have 2 drill runs to fire off. This drill run here is going to get the shield or KO. They decided to come in with their Gastrodon. So Gastrodon here is going to be a problem as these Mud Slaps here are just chunking away at us. We're going to go into our Machamp as we are trying to deal as much damage as possible. Our opponent here does end up switching out into their Sandslash. Let's see if we grab that last shield. No, we needed that last shield to go down as our Shadow Marowak here needed the shield down. Unfortunately for us, they're going to be able to get to that Earth Power and take us out. So GG's to our opponent, unable to win that game. Check out this team if you haven't already and let us know if you enjoyed the video.